Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are back live one more time for your VNEA World Pool Championships here in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Grant. I'm sitting beside the one and only Mr. Ben Francis. How are you this morning, Ben?
Good. No voice.
No voice.
Very little voice left.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear, sir.
YouTube or Facebook? Either or, yeah.
And we are underway. We have the men's regular 8-ball teams doing battle. Bourbon Sippers from Ohio, Loose Change from Iowa.
Bourbon Sippers won the hot seat, so Loose Change will have to beat them twice in order to take home the title. The brackets are on CompuSport if you want to check it out, how they got to this stage. First place taking home $10K.
Wow.
Second place taking home $8,000. So this is a $2,000 match.
Crazy money.
YouTube comment. I read the team name as Bourbon Strippers and had to make sure I was on the right website. So we're going to have a struggle today. Neither one of these teams is wearing team shirts, Grant.
Sorry, what?
Neither one of these teams is wearing team shirts.
Oh, well,
so this is going to be an absolute nightmare.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be real fun.
So I do know that the player on the left is on Loose Change. He actually won the singles. Chad Schlombaum.
Very, very interesting.
The player on the right, I have no idea.
Well,
so
yeah.
We'll just have to see what table they go to after.
That'll have to be our indicator.
That's right. And we'll do score checks every 5 games or so just to make sure.
Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Dee, David.
One last day in the desert, yeah. Plums. One final day.
One final day, one final stream.
Well, possible, too. If Loose Change can pull off the first set, we'll have another one.
Very true.
And I wouldn't put it by them. They've made it this far in the event. They've got the singles winner on their team.
Player on the right, also from Loose Change, Larry Pereira.
Oh, awesome.
There's Mitch.
I bet we can have the fans help us with this, too.
Oh, please do, because we're going to need it.
This is the finals, Guy Nicklin.
The last final, or potentially the last final.
It looks like there's another angle from a cell phone stream as well, but I'm not sure where to find it. Nick Kruger on the Facebook. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of questions about that.
Oh, yes. That will certainly be a lot of questions put forth.
So I'll tell you my 2 thoughts on it. We'll just cover this quick.
Get it.
And I want to give everyone some advice for when you play in those big matches. If you're playing in the final of a tournament, you let the guy shoot the winning ball. I don't care what ball it is. You let him shoot it. You let him celebrate if he wants to celebrate. I'm going to cover one more topic here, too, because I'm a little cheesed about how that went last night.
I would bet so.
So not only did he not let me shoot the final ball, but as soon as the match was over, he challenged us all. I'll play any one of you.
Yeah.
Let's go to Griff's. I'll play any one of you. That do not ever do. All the people listening, do not ever do that.
Yeah.
You totally take away from their win. Instead of congratulating them, you're saying, I'm better than you every other time. Let's go play some.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. That's the most, I want to call it Bush League thing to do.
It is.
So they went even further, Grant.
Oh, I know. They went up to the
challenged the whole team.
Challenged the whole team. They wanted to play for some pretty big money.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what that tells me?
Yeah.
They haven't lost enough.
Yeah.
Because if you've lost enough, you never do stuff like that. You just take it on the chin like a man,
that's it.
right?
Be gracious in the loss. Take
That's
the
right.
lesson. There's no need for any of that kind of stuff. So
Did Neil not get his ticket yet? Neil James? That's the one I showed you yesterday. From a few days ago.
that probably is correct. So I will make note of that, Neil. You know what? Do me a favor. Never mind, because did he message to the page already?
Yeah, just make a note here.
Yeah. I can just make a note.
A note. Question on the YouTube, what division matches will you be streaming today? Just this one.
It is the only match of the day left.
Everyone else is totally cleared right out. And you guys are right. And usually I would take it easy on them. But no. No, they need to know. And people need to know as well. And hopefully we can all learn from it. That's what we're here for, ultimately.
That's right.
Sometimes you got to learn how to lose. It's not easy to do.
Well, and it's not as much fun to lose, that's for sure, but there's a way of losing and there's a way of not losing.
I've been a poor loser before. I've been guilty of that.
Oh, I think we all have.
But I think I've learned every loss. I've learned something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to be gracious in victory and defeat.
Exactly correct.
Ed Moyer on the right. Bourbon Sippers. Okay. Bourbon Sippers with a 10-6 win there. First game on the board. Looking at the title here. They need to be beat twice. And you'll see we're keeping game count on there as well, so we can have an idea when the match is close to over, and if one player needs 3 balls and needs to go put on the jersey, and then you know, right?
That's right.
The viewer advantage is still running. Final day, I believe. What time are we going to do the cutoff?
We are going to do the cutoff at 2 o'clock this afternoon, so you can purchase, to answer Neil's question, you can still purchase tickets up until 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That gives me the time I need to go through, make sure everybody has their tickets. If, for example, the same as Neil, you have not received a copy, I did get a couple of bounce back on emails. So just message the page, not a problem. I've got pictures of every ticket that we've sold, and I can send it off to you. But up until 2 o'clock, we'll do the cutoff, and then we'll do the draw right before the banquet starts, because we are doing the live streaming on that. Wayne Burba, but he had to know the significance of the last shot with the jersey. Our team would have surrounded the table for photos, of course.
And I should note that a lot of the players on that team were perfect gentlemen after. And
it was
congratulated
just
us. And well, it was 2. But
oh, okay. It was 2.
But we won't name names. I don't think that's necessary.
No.
But yeah, he knew the significance.
Certainly he did.
He's
seen you guys win before.
For sure he has. Everybody has. Because they're literally building teams last year to try to knock us off. They knew.
Well, and it really is unfortunate because the significance, I think, kind of got lost on them a little bit with Barry being the original founder of Barry's team and now passing on. I mean, that was a pretty significant moment.
Well, and when he conceded that ball, I was instantly apologizing. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean any disrespect by that. It's just a tradition thing. And he's like, something like, up yours with your tradition.
Yeah.
And I'll call it out.
Oh,
I will always call out people who are poor losers. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of deflated the moment.
You know what the tournament director said? She's like, yeah, they want to play you. I'm like, it won't be on this trip, but we'll tune them again one day. Yeah. She had a good laugh. I love that answer, she said. Nobody intimidates my team.
No.
I think we'll play like the European Mosconi team just because our energy and our team chemistry might be a little better.
Well, and I mean, let's be honest, you guys have been there once or twice.
We know how to win and we know how to lose.
Well, and that's the important part, right? Losing is not fun, right? It's not supposed to be. That's the learning lesson, right? That's how you get better. But that was, in my opinion, very, very unnecessary to do.
That's right, Guy Nicklin. Nobody puts Benny in a corner.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on from
Yeah,
that. I
back
don't
to
wanna,
this. Yeah, I didn't want to beat that up all day. I just wanted to cover it quick
No,
and get
for
over
sure,
it, right?
For sure. Let's give these guys the attention and credit they deserve. They've had a long battle.
And something I see more at this level is they actually are better at losing.
Of course.
They're way more gracious. I think the loser of this match is going to be thrilled
Of course.
to get second place, the Silver Charlie, the $8,000.
How can you not be happy?
Right? I hope this will be better. Wayne Burba, we might just have to bring my team next year. You never know. Maybe I can talk the guys into it. Question on the YouTube was that, is Lil Ben the dude who put the jersey on at the end? Yeah, that's me, Lil Ben.
But he packs a punch, let me tell you.
I broke dry in the first game of that match.
I saw that.
And then I broke and ran out the next one. I went 7 for 8
Nice.
on my breaks in the tournament. We only played 4 matches.
Unreal.
Good times. I broke not too bad. And thanks everyone for tuning in. If you can do us a big favor, click that share button. I know it's a little early Saturday morning, but
Yeah, let's get it rocking, guys. Give that share button a little bit of love. Let's get these guys an audience. They fully deserve this. This to me is the most exciting thing, because by the time you hit your guys' level, the Masters, you've been here, chances are these guys haven't.
that's right.
And this is what you come to Vegas for, is this moment for these guys.
That's right. I love the celebration at the end and the hugs and the tears.
100%.
I got to call my mom quick.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, the first time I ever won out here, and that was exactly it. I had to call my mom, my dad, my sister.
Yeah, right? Calling the world.
Let everybody know. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, you're welcome there, Plums. Tyler and I get along extremely well. He's a solid guy. Him and Margaret just happened to be in town. Of course, they got married, and he messaged me to let me know he was in town, and I said, well, as it happens, so were we. So I said, if you don't mind, just come on over, and he needed something from me, and I said, well, if you don't mind, just jump on the mic with me, and then I can get you what you need. But he's an absolute wealth of knowledge. If you guys ever get the chance, and he's around your area, make sure you take a lesson from him. The guy's just a complete wealth of knowledge, and you would have to be in order to play on the Moscone Cup.
I'm going to go back and listen to that match later on today. The boys were all watching it last night at dinner.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Eric's like, where did you find that? Then he puts his headphones in. He's like locked right in watching it.
Nice.
Awesome victory meal at the Pepper Mill. I was so full.
That is a tradition for you guys as well.
Whew. It was a meal.
Victory dinner.
Then we went to Fremont, and then I said, it's midnight. I'm going back. And I was a good boy. I got a good sleep.
Is the Masters final match on Facebook? Yeah, it is. It's the last match of yesterday, so.
Speaking of which, I could probably put this match into the bracket. Cool little addition to CompuSport is we can put the stream link into the bracket.
Yeah, that ended up being a really long stream. We kept the cameras rolling for tables 3 and 4, and then I did a picture-in-picture of the picture-in-picture so that we had tables 1, 2, 3, and 4 all visible.
There were a lot of Dallas-Fort Worth fans.
Oh, there were.
Just a few. So a long one on this left side table. That's kind of typical of these finals matches and an early morning match.
For sure. Nobody wanting to give an inch.
Get a little bit of a grind.
Good morning, Jarrett. And you're right. Traditions are very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in teams, right? And I'm not superstitious by any means, but when it comes to the traditions and so on and so forth, they're important.
I'm superstitious.
Well, it creates that camaraderie that you guys have, and you guys have kind of a very special way of how you guys operate.
Yeah, it's super unique to any team I've played on as well. There's just no panic in those guys. Just zero panic.
I know, right?
Down a bunch of balls, so what? Just run some racks, man. Do it all the time.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you guys have a very unique ability of doing. You don't sweat it.
Question on the YouTube, what are these guys playing for right now? They're playing for 10K up top, a gold Charlie, the big check. I love the big check.
Yes.
I'm taking the big check to leather pocket this year.
Yes, you are.
I think they know it too.
Yeah, they do.
Goes without saying.
Yeah, that it's a nice addition to the pool hall, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And the second place prize here is $8,000 in the silver Charlie, and no shame in that.
Any player that puts a bad rep on our team is not invited back to the team.
Yeah, that's right. If I played with players that were being rude or bad sports, it would just be, go sit on the bench. We'll play with 4 players.
100%.
That or the other option is I take my queue apart.
Which
we don't even play.
Yeah, which is more than likely my way of doing it.
Yeah. I've told players before. I told them that. Somebody's like panicking because we're down 30 balls. Oh, it's over. Okay, well, why are we playing the rest of these games
may as
then?
well crack the queues.
How many players on a team? They have, I'm going to say 5 to 7, but they are 5-player teams, so they may have a couple of spares, which is never a bad idea when you come down here to play.
Yeah, you never know what happens, right? Somebody gets sick or whatever the case is. You've always got an option.
Vegas can get the better of people.
Oh.
It's not for everyone.
It is not. That is for sure.
Are we streaming the Western Canadians?
I
VNEA.
know that we had a call about it. I had a conversation with Elmar about it. But I haven't heard back as of yet. And so it's an unknown at this point.
It's at an absolute terrible time of year. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're not, because we have too much other stuff to do.
Yeah, my complete focus will be on the Canada Open from this point.
It's like the last week of June and first week of July.
Oh, it's the Canada Day long weekend. That's
yeah,
what it is.
It's no good, right?
Look at this shot. Oh, no. Makes a great shot. Gets a little punished for it.
Well, Chad over here on the left table, he's like the one player I know the name of because he won the singles. But he's grinding it over there. No wonder he won the singles. He ain't giving up an inch. I would have swung at a ball by now and
tried to develop something.
Bank shot here on the right.
Heart.
Oh, what a shot.
In the heart.
Doesn't even touch the rail.
What a great shot.
So that'll be 10-4 loose change, I believe. Hopefully we're getting that right. But I will do a score check at some point during this match, too. I'll do a couple.
Sorry for all the coughs, guys. My voice is just done.
Mine as well, yeah. Where's the Ohio team out of? Anyone know?
That I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's somebody tuning in that would know the answer to that question.
I would imagine someone in the chat, in the YouTube or the Facebook.
Ben got it right. That was a loose change player.
All right. On fire already this morning.
Oh, yeah, you're better you than me.
This is going to be a tricky one. So, I wonder why they're not playing the other game.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, because we're only on games 3, 4. So there's a 5th game needed to be played there. And nobody's making a move.
Right?
And if they're waiting for this game on the left to be done, they could be waiting a while.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you this morning? Congrats to your team, Ben.
Oh, thank you, Sandra. And everyone else that tuned in. I appreciate all the fans out there. We had a half-decent crowd of Calgary boys back there, too, that all high-fived us after.
Okay. The team from Ohio is from the Tuscarora. Wow, that's a mouthful in the morning.
Tuscarawas County,
Yep.
New Philadelphia. Good morning, Paul Silva.
That is a mouthful. I'm not even going to bother trying.
And Clark nailed it. We're looking forward to getting back to Timmy's.
Oh, you have no idea.
In the cooler weather.
I don't mind the hotter weather, but I am looking forward to going home and being at home for more than a couple of weeks. It has been, the first start of the year for me has been just extremely busy, traveling and going all over the place.
I think I've got about 2 weeks at home, and then I've got a job out of town, which I'm not looking forward to. I might have to pawn it off on John or something.
Yeah, right.
Counting down the hours. That's right, Ryan. We're looking forward to the banquet tonight, though.
Absolutely. That'll be a good time.
Yeah, we get to be paraded up on stage again. And I think Eric left, though, so you might have to tap in for him.
Eric Vargas?
Hold the trophy, walk on stage with us.
Oh, no, that's for you all. I don't belong up there at all.
I'll have to take some good team photos when we get back home, because we didn't really get any, other than like the dinner photo. But you got to get the ones with the trophies and the big check.
Yeah, of course. That's why I want to be able to move that camera around. That way I can follow yous around.
Absolutely. So if you're just tuning in, Bourbon Sippers won the hot seat. Loose Change has to beat them twice to take home this title. And by the looks of Table 2, it's going to be a really good match. Neither player wants to give up an inch.
I better not.
That's an old one, I think.
It is. I should have grabbed a coffee on the way in.
The lineup was quite hefty, though.
It was.
Morning, Norm. Thanks, pal.
I don't know if I can go this entire match without finding something somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that this thing would be open again this morning, but
no dice.
I was wrong.
You can always run off whenever you need to. Good
Hey,
morning.
thanks, Bear. We appreciate that. And hopefully everybody has made sure that they follow our Facebook page. I think we're less than 1,200 now. Less than 1,200 away from 50,000 on Facebook.
I think Pat just read my mind there. Yeah, tea with honey and lemon. That'll help the voice.
Yes. Or an extra large Timmy's when we get back.
Well, and so just so you know, the plan after this, Grant, is I'm going to go buy you breakfast at that little cafe in there. We'll go eat breakfast after.
After this?
Yeah.
You're going to buy me breakfast?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because you didn't come for the victory meal last night. I feel bad.
Oh, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, man. I was completely cooked.
Yeah.
Last night.
You wouldn't have kept up with us.
15, 14? For loose change? Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know how I got that wrong. 15, 14. I must have just missed a ball up table or something.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
See, I'm on the ball. I pay attention.
Right? Should be 15. Nope, they got 16.
It was quite funny during some of the matches yesterday. They were coming up to double check the other team's score, and I was like, don't bother, it's good, I got it. Come up here and check it.
Nice. Good morning, Mr. Ryan Pittman. How are you this morning?
And thanks for all the nice comments, everyone. We appreciate all of you tuning in for 10 days straight.
No doubt.
It's almost as hard as playing and doing the commentary as tuning in to watch for 10 days straight.
Yeah, it's been amazing. You guys are great.
Good
Ben
question.
and I say it. Ben and I say it all the time. Where we can't do what we do without you guys. There's no doubt about it. Without you guys tuning in and sharing, just wouldn't be the same.
Oh, wow, look at this. Loose Change was up 19 versus these guys in semis with 2 games left and lost. 2 10-0s.
Wow.
To steal the match from 19 down with 2. You see it all in these tournaments, right? If you watch enough matches, you'll see everything happen. And a good question from Adam there, noticing all the dark shafts and wanting to know what the material is. It's carbon fiber is the new thing. And I highly recommend the Revo, the Predator Revo shaft for carbon fiber. It just hits dead straight.
It does.
And it has lots of power, like you saw yesterday. John drew back and hooked himself on the 8. And we all said the same thing, Revo power.
Yeah, Revo power for sure.
And Guy wants to know, did we partake in some adult bevies last night? Like, not to the Jeff degree, but at least a couple. Yeah, we had a couple, but I was reasonable. I don't know how the other boys feel this morning, but
I would suspect they're perhaps a little rough this morning.
I would imagine at least one of them is. But we had a great time. Went to Fremont, wandered around. There were a couple of really great bands. Ran into some Calgary folks that were just having a great time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I would assume that would be Tyson and the crew.
No, it was Mike Bain and Don.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Warren.
Yeah.
Linland and
Yeah.
Wade was there just rocking out.
Nice.
It was a great time. Spandex Nation.
Look at that shot.
Have you ever heard of that band?
Spandex Nation?
They're,
Can't say
they're
that I
like
have.
super heavy metal.
Oh, really?
But they wear like, they all have like long hair and like these big thick sunglasses, and they're all wearing like a spandex jumpsuit or something.
Oh, wow.
But they were really good.
Interesting.
So it looks like this game on the left, the balls have finally opened up. And Rick wants to know who's on the Iowa team. I can bring that up on the CompuSport bracket here. As long as I know which one the Iowa team is. Loose Change. Chad Schlumbaum. Oh, that's a good one. Jesse Klein Hesselink. Larry Pereira, Nick Falk, and Tyson Hodgins.
Good job, man.
I know, like say that second name 10 times fast. Good luck.
I can't say it one time slow.
And on Bourbon Sippers, Ed Moyer, Gary Thompson, Matt Burrows, Tim Gomer, and Todd, the real deal Beal. I love that.
Nice.
He's got his nickname in there. Can we put our nicknames in there too?
Right?
A comment on the YouTube. Pool hall doesn't open for another 5 hours, so thank you for giving me something to occupy my time.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
That's what I do when the pool hall's not open. I watch pool till it opens.
Watching and supporting from Iowa. We appreciate it, Rick.
That's one of my favorite things about what we do is all the hometown fans get to watch their friends and family. I know personally all of my family was watching yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother. And I'll show it to my son when we get home.
There you go.
Because I'm sure he wasn't watching.
Easy cleanup for Chad. I won't say that it's easy when you're playing under the lights on camera and for a first place Charlie and a big old check.
The nice thing is,
never easy.
he's probably the least nervous of all these players.
Oh, I would bet.
Because he's already been in this spot once in this tournament playing in a final.
Yep.
And you can see how he got to the final because he strokes the ball really good.
Sure does.
Well, looks like we got some bots that like to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Good times, right? More subscribers.
I think we may have to set that up every time. However you did that.
I don't think so. Could be possible. 10-5 for loose change, right? Loose change is over there. Yes, because I just named all the players on that team. Brings us to games 4 and 5.
I'm so glad you're doing that this morning, Ben.
While the player on the right-hand table is thinking about what shot they want to take next.
So Ben's put up the viewer advantage sweepstakes. Make sure you get in it to win it. 2 beautiful Jacoby custom cues, one with a wrap, one without a wrap. $20 per ticket gets you in to win. We are doing 2 draws in 1. Pulling the first ticket will get the choice of either the wrap or the wrapless. Will then pull another ticket and they will get the remaining cue. So each ticket is a double shot at winning. Head on over to our website, cslipl.com. Once you get there, click on the shop button. That will be where you can get your tickets. If you're in Canada, you can also email transfer, qsportslive@gmail.com. Do keep in mind it is US dollars, so 26 Canadian.
And rarely comments on the YouTube. Wants to know, how much does a decent pool table cost? It costs $9,000 for a 9-foot Predator. That's all you need to know. That's the most decent table.
I would agree. $6,500 for a 7-foot.
And thank you, Steve K.
Hopefully you draw mine first. Been a while since I've won. Yeah, Ryan, you were doing quite well there for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ryan Pittman's won a little. Oh, there you go. Neil James maybe figured it out.
It's not the phone number we need, James. It's the email address.
You can send it to a phone number too, right? Yeah, you can send a picture to a phone number.
I could. I prefer an email address.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think I sent yours to you already, Christine. So if you don't see it in your main email, always check your junk mail.
His heart is broken on the YouTube after he heard how much the pool table costs. Split his heart right in half there. Super quiet in here today, right?
It is very quiet. That's why I'm trying not to be overpowering because, well, and you're the same way. Both of our voices are pretty deep and they carry a long, long ways.
Oh, yeah. People always tell me, can you stop talking? I can hear you.
I know, right?
Neil says there wasn't a place for one in the purchase. Wasn't a place to put his email in there.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Maybe you can tell him where it is.
Yeah, as soon as you click on the add to cart and you fill in all your information, same spot that you enter your name, you just scroll down a little bit and it'll have like your address and email address and phone number and all those things. But you can also, Neil, just send me a message on the Q Sports Live Facebook page. Let me know your email address and I can get it to you that way.
And Christine didn't receive hers yet.
Okay, I can have a look at that.
And David Wilson says the subscription is a one-time ad on YouTube. I feel like that would be so silly if you had to set it up before every single stream. I'm going to have to, I'll dig deeper into that. Oh, Steve Spear from Team Australia says, can't wait to get back over there to compete. We missed you guys this year. The Australian teams, they have so much fun here.
Oh, yeah.
We missed having them for sure.
Hopefully you guys can make it out here for next year. I know we've got a viewer that tunes in from Australia, from Adelaide, Australia. And he kind of keeps us in the loop with what's going on. And Australia was locked down pretty hard. Hopefully they've kind of eased up a little bit on that.
I've got a great story about some Australian teams, but one in particular. During the tournament, I think we were in the open, possibly the intermediate teams, and we kept drawing side-by-side tables, so they would be playing a match over here, we'd be playing a match over there. They have a player on their team named Benny, and they would, like, they'd be yelling, "Come on, Benny," then my team, when it was my shot, "Come on, Benny." Then we started doing it for each other. So it was like, when it was my shot, the Australian team's yelling too,
"Come on, Benny."
"Come on, Benny." And then when it was their Benny shot, our team's yelling, "Come on."
Nice.
It was great. They're super fun guys.
That's totally awesome.
Super fun. Then when we go to the banquet, we're all cheering for each other, right?
Yeah.
They all stand up. You could see their whole team stand up, clapping for us, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're great guys.
That's it. Pete Robertson.
Yeah, Peter Robertson. Yeah, Adelaide.
Adelaide, Australia. Yeah. For some reason, I could remember where he was from, but got caught up on the name.
Thank you, Noella. And I didn't see what happened on table 2. Chris Golden in the YouTube says cue ball didn't hit the 9 and it should have been a foul. Never saw what happened. Missed it. Reading comments.
Right?
These players are grinding this out. Neither one wants to give up much.
Okay, I gotta go get something to drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
My throat's killing me. Do you want a coffee or anything?
I've received the information for the challenge match. That is not happening right now. We're just going to make a separate trip down here to whoop those boys again. Apparently they need tuned in again. Steve says, representing Empire Bar and Pool, Adelaide, Australia. Awesome, awesome stuff. Looks like this 8-ball here on the left table for a 10-0. And we'll have to try to see what team this gentleman is on the left-hand table. Once he makes this 8 a bit long, though, a bit rolly. It's not the most fun shot because the cue ball can follow in. And that's a 10-0 for loose change. Makes scorekeeping easy. Only got to move one side of the scoreboard. Now to games 5 and 6. Looks like this 8-ball on the right's for a 10-6 win. I believe this is a Bourbon Sippers player on the right here. Oh, nice shot there. Indeed, 10-6 Bourbon Sippers. That'll cut into the lead a little. Warren wants to know, do we actually get a ticket number? Bought mine yesterday through the website, received a confirmation. You'll receive a picture of your ticket, Warren. Grant will be sending all those out. And that's correct, Neil James, qsportslive@gmail.com. Thank you, Donovan. So game 6 and 7, we got Bourbon Sippers breaking here. Ooh, big break on the left table, but he's coming up dry. And I like that break on the right-hand table. That was well struck. That's how you want to hit him. Beautiful little break there. Made a ball. He's got a real nice spread. Let's see what he's got here. I would think at first glance low ball's pretty good. Everything looks to go. I think possibly the 6 is a little tight down there. Green 6 near the bottom left. Let's see. Stripes are a possibility too. If the 9 goes by the 4, I believe it does. Everything goes without moving a ball. That's always handy. So let's see what he chooses here. I think it has to be stripes. Now that I'm looking at it a little closer, he could open with the 15 or the 13. He could open with the 12, actually. That might not be a bad shot, but then you're moving the 9. You don't have to move the 9. But you should be able to land on the 14, possibly. Question on the YouTube, do you need to call a pocket on the 8? You absolutely do. You need to call a pocket on every ball, technically. Oh no, he's missed the opener. Missed the opener. Push the stripe down there into a bit of trouble, so Chad's going to have to try to figure that out. Certainly made a little more of a mess over there. Warren Saffel, yeah, it is. It is across from where the Riv used to be. Not far. Not far at all.
The old Hilton.
It is the old Hilton. I'm sure you were over here a few times, Warren. They had a great buffet we used to come for all the time. So let's see what Chad's doing here on the right. The regular 8-ball singles champ. Looking at bringing home 2 gold Charlies this event. And he's trying to see if he could cut the 7 as the opener. If he can't do that, he could shoot the 4 and draw into the stripe to break out the 7. He also needs to move the 6, I believe. Slightly overstruck. He had to make sure he got into it, but just a little bit softer, he would have stayed on the 7. Well, let's see what he's got. The 1 up table. If he can get back down for the 7 later, that might develop the 6. Tough to pot this 1 and hold for the 3, though. He's looking to see if he could cut the 7 from here. I'm not sure I love that. Super thin. It would take a ton of spin. He's thinking about it. And what do we have going on the left table? Balls are pretty wide open over there. Is he shooting? Looks like low ball. Hard to tell. I think he's called the 6 into the top right. 7 balls in kind of weird spot. 1 ball might lead you there, though. And Chad on the right still trying to decide if he can shoot that 7 first, but I really don't think so. I think he's got to play the 1. He could go crazy with the 1 and try to draw back into the 6. I actually don't hate that. Good shot on table 2 there. Well, now he's called the 1 into the top left. Not sure that leads him anywhere good. Can hear the wind whipping through here. It's a little bit chilly. Got a pretty good breeze coming through. And it's super quiet in here, so I'm going to try to do my best to not distract these players. It's the quietest day so far. But there are a good number of fans sitting over there in the stands, sweating this match. Oh, I see. Chad was trying to draw back to get on the 7 next. That was a tough shot. That was a real tough shot. Extra chance for Bourbon Sippers player here on the right. Probably thought he might not get it playing Chad. But an early mistake. Looks like he's thinking about shooting this 9 in the side. These side pockets play real tight from these angles. Gotta roll it, and he does. That's a good shot. He made it look easier than it was. And it looks like the 4 ball on the left, trying to get on the 7. Well, he gets all the way up for the 3-1. That's a pretty good shot. How does he get on the 7? How do you get on the 7 there on the left? Hey, Barb, thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning, Peter. Thanks, Gord. Donovan says, "Oh, is it only 37 today?" It's 37 outside, but it's like minus 10 in here with the breeze whipping through the door onto our backs, the stream booth here. One ball in the 8 on the right-hand table for a pretty good steal there from Chad. That'd be a big game for Bourbon Sippers there. Tighten up this gap. Looks pretty straight in the side here. Just got to roll this one in for a 10-2. And he does just that. Nice little finish there. 39-44. Real close again here. Still lots of games to play. Let's see what we got on the left table there. Rolling the 1, keeping angle on the 3, and I think you got to send this cue ball up towards the 9. Pretty tight little window to get in there. Not easy. He's giving it the long look. I like that. You gotta be sure in these situations. Don't want to make bad decisions. Just try to play the highest percentage shots that you can. And if you're just tuning in, Bourbon Sippers won the hot seat, so Loose Change will need to beat them twice in order to take home the title. Oh, he tried to go one rail into the 9 and overhit it. And I'm not sure he's got any makeable shot there. Tough to play a safety when you only have one ball and your opponent has all 7. So you might need to try to find a shot he can take a flyer at. Maybe he could try to 2-rail the 7 crisscross into the bottom left, but I'm not sure if he can avoid the scratch and hit it hard enough. What a huge break on the right table. That's a beautiful second ball break. Look at the spread. Anybody who says that's a defensive break doesn't hit it properly. Second ball break, commonly thought of as a safer break where the balls tie up more, but I disagree. They certainly open right up when you're hitting them like that gentleman did. Fantastic break. The only tied up ball that's in trouble is the 8. I can't tell if it goes into the top left. He can certainly bump it out of there at some point. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to shoot this 6 and send the cue ball into the stripe. You don't want to go into the 8 here. You can get stuck behind the stripe. And if you go into that stripe on top of the 8, you should be on the 2 next, possibly even the 3. You always want to make sure you're landing on a ball when you play these breakouts. Into the top of the stripe. Oh, a little too much of the top of it. But he's landed okay. He's on the 4. That's a good shot. And the 8 does have enough room now to cut in. It looks like Bourbon Sipper's trying to clean up that table on the left. So he's doing the right thing over here on the right side table. Try to section it so you don't have to move the cue ball up and down. So he's dealing with the 2 balls up there. Then he'll come down for the 3 and the 7. That way the cue ball's not moving too much. Although this looks like a pretty delicate shot. Oh, he bumped into everything. That trick never works. That trick never works. Yeah, $2,000 match here. Winner's going to take home $10,000. The big check, the gold Charlie. Loser's going to take home $8,000 and zero shame in finishing second place in this field. I think we had over 300 teams. Containing safe. Tough to win the game from here. Your opponent's probably not going to let you see too much in the way of an offensive shot. A lot of 2-ways. If you're just tuning in, we're at the 2022 VNEA World Pool Championships. It's the final match. Loose Change needs to beat Bourbon Sippers twice in order to take home this title. And we will be live again later on this evening. The banquet starts at 5. And we will be giving you some coverage of it. And we're about 1 hour into this match, and we've had some grinding games. Neither team wanting to give up an inch to the other. They didn't make it this far by playing careless pool, that's for sure. They have to be playing really good and really smart. Shooting this ball on the side. Is he drawing back to break out the 14? He's not. Saving it for later. You don't want to pick off too many balls before you find that breakout, though. Looks like it's going to be a 10-6 for Bourbon Sippers over here after the player makes the 8. And indeed he does. That's a 10-6 win. Bourbon Sippers, that's going to tighten it right up. Only 1 point separating them now. David Wilson sent 50 for 2 more tickets. Appreciate it, pal. Best of luck. Gord Care, we're going to cut it off at 2 o'clock for the Q draw, and then we're going to do the draw during the banquet at some point. And we will do it live on the camera. 2 winners this time around. A comment on the YouTube says, those tables are too close to each other. Can you imagine if the tables were that close to each other? Prize money for this match, Leon. 10K for the winner, 8K for the loser. We got Grant back. Look at this comment. Those tables are too close to each other. Can you imagine?
Right.
You don't even have enough room to squeeze in between them.
I couldn't imagine trying to play a shot that close with those tables that close together.
We've got 2 cameras with the split screen, so it looks like they're real close. And it's deceiving because the carpet almost matches up, so it almost looks like they are that close.
I assure you they're not. There's probably 8 feet.
Thankfully not. I'm a small guy, but I wouldn't have been able to fit through this little gap there.
Right. Well, I tried to go get coffee. It didn't work.
No?
Lineup is way too long.
Oh, yeah, I assumed it would be Saturday morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's nursing the hangover going to get Starbucks.
Uh-huh.
Gord says we should get the president of the VNEA to draw the ticket. Tickets. 2 winners.
Yes. I think either Greg or Brian, which would be the 2 owners of VNEA, will have their hands full.
Mm-hmm. We'll find somebody.
They've got a small event to put on.
We'll find somebody important to draw the ticket.
Or Tyler. Tyler and Margaret, unfortunately, won't be here today. They headed back as of yesterday. He just he dropped by to say hi, and as I mentioned yesterday, Tyler and I are pretty good pals. So
I think I know who it could be. Maybe SVB will still be here.
Oh, that could be.
Because that would be a good one.
That would
People
be
love
a
to see
very
SVB
good
on
one.
a camera, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, oh my God, it's SVB. Is he going to bring out his cue and play pool?
Right?
No.
He's not.
He's done playing pool this week, I think.
Speaking of Pete Robertson, there he is. How are you, Pete?
Yeah, he must have, his ears must have been ringing.
Right, I was talking about you earlier.
Yeah. Well, and the player that was, the Australian team that was in there, they're from Adelaide too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I got the referee over here to take a look at this one. Is he going to try to bank this ball? Is that why they need the ref? Extremely hard to bank this ball and hit it clean. And I'm sure you can't hit it like that.
No. Not with any kind of pace.
No, not to bank it. Yeah, you need to do that. You need to air bridge and you got to power this one back. Yeah, it's a clean hit.
Sure is.
That's the only way to hit it clean is
And he takes over the pocket for the 8 ball.
Look at that.
So, the good news, bad news. The bad news he missed, but the good news is he hasn't made this easy.
Somebody in the comments says 59-56 question mark. I don't think so. I don't think so. Those scores wouldn't even really add up.
David Wilson says Little Miss Beep Beep lives in Vegas. Savannah Easton.
Yeah, the Roadrunner.
That is a perfect angle on that 3-ball. Scoot right underneath for that 8 to the top left-hand corner.
And personally, I'd rather overhit this and have the cue ball more to the middle of the table instead of landing like on the side rail or jacked up over that ball.
For sure. Back cut to the blind corner is tough.
I don't mind having to cut it a little, but I don't want to back cut it and shooting over a ball. Just like this, yeah. Overplay it a little like that.
Wow,
Perfect.
what a great shot.
That was perfect. We're starting to see how these players made it to the final. They're all really great players.
Pretty close matchup.
I think it's very evenly matched. Yeah, and apparently the semifinal, loose change was up 19 with 2 games to play and lost. The drama.
Pete says he would draw it for us. Come on down, Pete.
Yeah. Get on a flight. There's still time. Oh, wait. There is no time to fly that far. Bourbon Sippers with the 10-6. That was what Eric M. was referring to, I guess.
Was it a 10-6?
It was a 10-6. I thought I clicked that twice. It just didn't work. Games 9 and 10, and I think I'm going to run to the washroom quick. If you don't
I
mind.
hear you, absolutely. That's right, Warren. As much as I'm from Canada, somebody messed up the purchase order because I was really meant for southern weather. Weather. I don't know where that came from. Southern weather. Not sure where my brain's at right now, but you're correct, nonetheless. And it's more so the fact that the air conditioning, Ben took the good seat, so I've got the air conditioning blowing like our bags on the table here are kind of blowing around. The napkins are blowing around. The airflow in this room is unbelievable. And for somebody that likes the heat, having that cold air blow on you all day, that's why I think my voice is cooked. Yeah, Jerry, we kind of touched on that already at the top of this stream. It's supposed to rain all week in Calgary. That's what I'm coming back to? I think I might have to extend my stay here in Vegas if that's the case. How much is first, second, and third? Well, I know what these guys are playing for. Winner of this is 10,000. Second place is 8,000, but more importantly are the Charlies that go with it. Yeah, Donovan, it's certainly dried my my throat out, that's for sure, but I will survive, as they say. I'm going to do the unthinkable, and I'm actually not going to talk much over the next couple of days. Gord, you are correct. This is it. The final day in the desert for your VNEA World Pool Championships 2022. And I just got to take a minute to say congratulations to the VNEA. They put on a great show this year. As well as, what a great shot there. He did not have much of a pocket, but it went dead to the heart. As well as Shannon Benson High Country Promotions setting up all of these tables, almost 300 tables in this venue. Thanks, David. $6,000 for third. Guy Nicklin, no, give me the money over the Charlies. Can't plop a Charlie on a poker table. Well, you could. I mean, that'd be an awfully large card protector, but it could be done. What are the Charlies? They are the trophies. So the trophies that these guys get, that's what they're known as, is Charlies. If you go back to the tour that we did, so just scroll back through our posts on Facebook, you'll be able to see those Charlies. We gave everybody kind of a tour around the entire facility, let you see all the tables, the setup, trophies, all those kinds of things. But they are very coveted. Warren's calling BS on my no talking for a couple of days. Anybody that knows me, especially on Q Sports Live, that's what I'm known for, is the gift of the gab. Unless my throat's cooked, then I don't talk quite as much. Yeah, that was weird. 59, 56, he nailed it. Looking for a run out there on the right-hand table. And because Ben was doing this, now I'm not sure who's at the table. What team is on that right-hand table? This would be for a 10-0 win. Looking good to close escrow on the game. Not sure what team that is, though. Anybody know on the right-hand table? Oh, man. Wiped its feet, but it found its way in. Loose change player on the right. Perfect. Thank you very much. What a great run out. And Gord, I think you're 100% correct. Most pool players would give up all the money for a Charlie. They are very, very coveted. And maybe that guy that commented on YouTube that it was supposed to be 59, 56. Maybe he can see into the future, because that was pretty trippy. And you can tell what got these guys here. For the men's regular open 8-ball teams, these guys play pretty sporty. And it looks like we're getting Mr. Ben Francis back on the mic.
Did I miss a 10-0?
You sure did.
Nice.
It was a really nice run out.
Loose change, trying to pull off the first set win, force a second set decider.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how long that lineup was at Starbucks. I was really looking forward to a coffee. Something hot to drink would have been great. But I figured I better not keep you waiting that long.
I wouldn't have minded. 10 days into the event, you got to have some coffee in you, you know?
I definitely need it.
I contemplated one. I don't even like coffee.
French vanilla would be more up your alley.
Just got to choke back something with caffeine in it, that's all.
That's it. That's it. So a mug root beer had to do.
A mug root beer. Is there caffeine in Mug's root beer?
I don't know. I would assume so.
I think it's the A&W root beer that has no caffeine. That's what I was thinking of. I don't even know if A&W is a thing out here.
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I've never seen one.
A&W. Do you guys have A&W in the States?
Definitely never seen one. Thanks, Mike Story. Nice seeing you too, pal. Hope you have a safe trip home, or had a safe trip home. Oh, there you go. Muggs has no caffeine. You messed up there, Grant.
I sure did. I sure did. VNEA is the best league system.
I agree. I'm a huge fan. I'm like a VNEA super fan.
Oh, me too.
I always have been.
I've been in the VNEA since I was 18 years old.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. First year I came, I was 18.
Can you believe 30 years?
Crazy.
30 years I've been playing VNEA pool.
We had some chats last night about what the qualification is to be in the Hall of Fame. Oregon has A&Ws.
Oh, a hot chocolate would have been good too.
A mocha, that's the one.
Oh,
half hot chocolate, half coffee. See, I can choke that back.
That would work. A&W merged with KFC. I did not know that.
And why does the VNEA not allow magic racks?
It's just their rule. Hand rack by the triangle. That's just how they do it.
I'm glad they don't allow magic racks. Tables are easy enough.
It's true.
We don't need to make this game any easier than it is.
We have an A&W in Ohio.
I guess maybe they just don't have one in Vegas. Sounds like it's everywhere else. Did we explain the scoring system yet?
No, I can though.
I can run this over. I got it down pat.
All right, get it.
You get 1 point for each ball. You get 3 points for the 8. So the winner of each game will get 10. The loser will get a point for each ball they have down. These gentlemen will play a possible 25 games up into the point where one team can mathematically no longer come back. Then the match will be over. So you'll see on the right side of the scoreboard, we're counting the game numbers. And that'll give us an idea when this match is close to over.
Gord says they do have an A&W in Las Vegas. 4675 West Charleston.
Googled it. 10-6 loose change.
Starting to pull away a little bit.
Just a little. Still plenty of games to play. We're not even quite halfway through here.
Just coming up to it. Yeah, 100%, Devin, and really that's the future of the sport is the juniors. SVB himself came up through the junior program at the VNEA.
Mm-hmm. And I heard some funny stories. I was talking to one of the referees who's been coming for all 40 years,
Wow.
42 years. And he said, like, when Shane was 16 or 17 and playing in the open, people used to try to take advantage of him because he couldn't hear.
Oh, that's sad.
But he would just whoop them anyway. They'd be thinking, oh, I could take advantage of this kid. He's got hearing aids in. And then all of a sudden he's just firing in balls and just taking souls, right?
Right. Kicking you know what and taking names later.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was great. Because you can't shark a guy if he never misses. It doesn't matter what you do.
Well, and if he can't hear what you're trying to shark him with, then it really doesn't matter.
That's
anyway.
right. That's right.
And you can't deny the talent, even at 16 years old, that SVB had. Comes from a pool family. A family of champions.
Good question there on the YouTube. If a player were to make 2 stripes and 2 solids on the break, does that give the opponent points? It sure does.
Yep, it absolutely does. Points count the second they go down the pocket, regardless of which player it's for.
I had a rack in the A side final where I made 3 solids and a stripe, and I could have ran either one, so obviously I ran the solids.
Yeah, of course.
Get the extra 2 points.
Yep.
Not recommended, though. Usually just take the easier balls. 2 points is not worth the risk, right?
Ben and Grant just going to show you how invaluable an assistant would be.
Yeah, you could Google stuff like, is there A and W? Where is the nearest Tim Hortons? Lethbridge.
That is going to be Lethbridge.
That's only like 16 hours away, right?
That's it. 17 or 18, actually.
Yeah. Depends.
Depends how quick I drive.
It depends how quick we go.
Although I will say on the drive home, I won't be quite as hard on the gas pedal.
Oh, we're gonna have to stop somewhere too to rest for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way we're pulling off that drive straight through.
No, I won't do that again. That drive just showed me that I'm not as young as what I once was.
No doubt. Well, even just walking to the bathroom, I felt that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how sore my legs were from walking around last night too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and we saw that, Warren. Warren says you can also win a match by playing a foul to knock in the last ball needed. That happened yesterday.
It sure did. It's somewhat frowned upon.
You're not supposed to do that. It's unsportsmanlike. It's like when people used to drive the ball off the table because it didn't spot.
Yep. TJ Steinhaus that won the Masters 8-ball 2 years in a row. Was the most decorated junior to go through the VNEA junior program. He won the junior singles and team every year. Well, I mean, he put on a display this year, that's for sure.
We're going to watch
Phenomenal
that kid.
player.
I bet you he's going to make Moscone in the next 3 years.
Yeah, he doesn't play.
If he plays, that's going to be the key. If he's not playing, then he can't make Moscone because they won't take players who don't play.
That's right. But a phenomenal talent, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
You have to play a certain amount of qualifying events to even be eligible for the wild card pick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's expensive to chase those tournaments around. It's not cheap. I can't believe how quiet it is in here today.
Oh, it's got a whisper.
Could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, Pete. I know that feeling. Yeah, and you know, the crazy thing is I kind of pride myself on the ability to get in a vehicle and just drive.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I can tell you.
Those days are gone.
They're numbered at best.
Oh, came up short there on the right side table.
Yeah, he kind of poked that.
And now he's in big trouble because I don't think you can cut this ball in, and playing the 2 in the side sends the cue ball into the 9. So he can't even really spin around to get back on it. 8's plug in the corner, so that's not an option.
So Devin says, personally, I don't think he plays enough to get that far, but he is capable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very capable for sure. Super talented player. I bet you he's good at a lot of things, like probably pretty sporty with a golf club too, you know?
Yeah, he seems to have that all-around natural
Yeah, just a
ability.
natural hand
Look
eye.
at this shot.
Oh, where's the cue ball trying to go straight in the side? That's not bad.
That's not terrible. 4-ball into the left-hand side pocket.
That was a pretty good shot. I didn't think he could cut that and get his cue out of the way.
Yeah. Kathy, did I miss the viewer's advantage? Nope, still up. We'll let that run until 2 o'clock today. So 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That is the cutoff time to get in to win. And then we'll do the draw just before the banquet tonight. So when we go live, that'll be the first thing we do is get that done and out of the way.
Right around 5 o'clock will be the draw.
Yeah.
Still plenty of time to get in it.
Yeah, if you don't have tickets, guys, make sure you get in to win.
Well, the odds are looking good with 2 chances,
Yeah.
2 draws.
Each ticket gets a double chance, a 10-5 win.
Loose change, pulling ahead a bit here. Trying to force that second set. 86-69, games 12 and 13, officially the halfway mark. And while the player's taking a moment to decide what he wants to do there, I'll put up that poster so you know what Grant was talking about there.
Excuse me, indeed. So make sure you head over to our website. Get in it to win it, guys. 2 beautiful Jacoby custom cues. One's wrapped, one is wrapless. $20 gets you in to win. CSLIPL.com.
Morning voice in it. I got the morning voice rocking too. It's been a long 10 days.
Golly, that air conditioning's just killing me right now.
And it looks like we got a half decent crowd watching this match too. Came to show the support early in the morning. Not easy to do. Saturday in Vegas. Saturday morning in Vegas is usually a sleep-in day.
No doubt. So as I was saying with that viewer advantage, when you get onto the website, CSLIPL.com, just click on the shop button, and it'll be the first option for you.
Oh, that comment will tickle your fancy there, Grant.
Glendale, Arizona?
It's only 280 miles away.
Let's do it.
I feel like we're pit stopping, yeah.
We definitely could.
It's got to be close to on the way, right?
It's not.
No.
No. It is directly east.
Well, we have to go a little bit east.
Not 280
Not
miles.
280 miles east, but
So that was about the same amount of time as what it took us to get to Grand Canyon.
oh, Grand Canyon, yeah, it was like 6 hours, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, no good. Scrap that plan.
So it'd be 6 there, 6 back.
No chance. Just gonna have to wait.
Well, I mean, we could wait 12 hours and pick one up in Canada.
That's right. Well, you said it was 18, right? Depends how much you want the Timmies.
I don't consider that unsportsmanlike.
No, that's a little different, I think. That's a little different, Warren, but I think I'm not 100% sure if there's a rule at VNEA, but I thought there was. So 86-69, halfway through this match. 17 points might seem like a bit, but it's not that much. Doesn't take a lot to come back here. And Zach Hay on the YouTube. Appreciate you tuning in, and everyone else out there tuning in all week. It's been a fantastic tournament. VNEA puts on such a great show, such an ultimate player experience. It's like pool player paradise here at the VNEA. And of course, a big shout out goes to Shannon, Benson, and the High Country Promotions team for setting up these beautiful tables. What a shot over there that was. Unbelievable, nice little TV shot in the finals. He's got to come with another one. I'm not sure he can do anything with that stripe that's buried in there. Gourd care. No, that's about right. That's about right.
Sorry about that, Ben.
Oh, no problem.
When the man comes to talk, you gotta jump off the mic.
That's right. That's right.
How slow do you drive to take 6 hours for 280 miles?
Grant does not drive that slow.
I do not. I don't excessively speed.
No, there's...
I might push that gray area a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the just the right amount of speeding that they will never pull you over.
That's right.
Yeah, what a great shot. He just missed a great jump shot on the left side table. He had the cue ball back here behind this solid and his object ball up there, and he just speared it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Real nice. But what does he have here?
Hello, Angela. How are you? Appreciate you tuning in, as well as everybody else. Let's see if we can get these guys even a bigger audience. We've got about 300, 150 on Facebook, 150 or 160 on YouTube. Give that YouTube a like. And if you're tuning in on Facebook, share it up. These guys are battling.
Are these our banquet tickets?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Good stuff.
That was part of my duties this morning.
I feel like I need to wake up John to go get our check before it's too late as well.
Yep.
Babysitting these boys.
I know, right?
Yeah, they said last night, you can come get it in about an hour. And we're like, nope. Both men shooting now are from Bourbon Sippers, says David. That's incorrect. The player on the right is Bourbon Sippers. The player on the left that made that jump shot, he was also Bourbon Sippers, but now Chad's to the table.
Just missed that pocket on the right-hand table.
It sounded a little funny, almost like you maybe miscued a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad on the left, the winner of the regular 8-ball singles. Looking at 2 gold Charlies potentially here. I was the lucky boy this tournament and got 2. Tony Sakamoto got 2.
Yeah, Tony played great.
Didn't she? Such a treat to play with her, for sure. She's got such a great mind for the game. Safety he called there, I assume, on the right. Yeah. Maybe get out the jump cue here.
Yeah. The only issue with the jump cue to the 10 is sending the cue ball off the table.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost harder to keep it on the table than not.
Yeah, Jana Montour. She got 2 or 3 as well.
Jana got a bunch, yeah.
I think she got 3.
She got 2 gold and a bronze.
Yeah.
2 gold and a bronze. Do you think she makes all-star team? Maybe just second team. I think I'm making first team this year, Grant.
It very well could happen.
I think I might make first team all-star, even though I bubbled both singles. I think 2 golds is enough, right?
It could be.
We're going to have to find out later on.
Are they using a 3-foul rule? No, Jeff, not in 8-ball. That 3-foul rule is either 9-ball or 10-ball, and even at that, it doesn't get used all the time.
Yeah, VNEA doesn't use the 3-foul rule in 9-ball either, so.
Hey, we appreciate you tuning in, Pete. Have a great night. Appreciate you.
There's a player from Loose Change on both tables here. Looking at opening up this lead a little more. Slightly misplayed cue ball there on the right, but he got away with it.
Yeah, I think he's in on the 4. 4 will slip past the 5 ball.
Yeah, that's right. He looked like he was going to nestle up right on that 3 and have no shot. Oh, you don't want the cue ball on the rail here. Should be okay. I think he's got to play the 5 first here, unless he's dead straight on the 3. Yeah, the 5
Might have to just slow roll that in.
Yeah, I think he slow rolled a 5. That way you have angle on the 3 to get up to the 8. I think he's perfect here. Little bounce, and he is absolutely perfect. Inch perfect even.
That will do.
Chad going to work on the left there.
Excuse me.
I think he shoots the 5 and soft draws for the 1 in the side, but if the 1 goes in the bottom left, he could just roll this in too. Play the 1 to the bottom left. Definitely prefer to play balls to the corner if you can. Much bigger pocket. It'll cheat in off the side rail. You can't really cheat the side pocket.
Really nice shot there. So then do you draw and put the 8 into the side as well? Not mess with it?
Yeah, if he has that angle, for sure. If not,
10-5.
play it to the corner. Another win
nice
for
shot.
Loose Change.
Very nice shot. And at 10-6.
Loose Change pulling ahead here. Games 14 and 15 coming right up. And that can only mean one thing.
It can only mean the viewer advantage sweepstakes. If you don't have a ticket to get in it to win it, get on over CSLIPL.com. When you get onto the website address, click on the shop button. That'll give you the option to get in it to win it. 2 beautiful Jacoby custom cues, 1 wrapped, 1 wrapless. So a little bit of a unique draw. Each ticket gets 2 chances to win. First ticket will get the choice of which cue they prefer. The next ticket we draw will get the remaining cue. And $20 per ticket gets you in to win. We'll do that cutoff at 2 o'clock today. So make sure you get in before 2 o'clock. We will then do the draw live for you this evening, just as we go live for the banquet here at the VNEA.
Right around 5 o'clock. And both those cues come with the Jacoby Ultra Shaft and will include shipping anywhere in North America. If the winners are outside North America, we will work a deal on the shipping. What a question on the YouTube. What happens if you get the skill testing question wrong? Is there a 3-foul rule for that? Yeah, 3 fouls. If you get the question wrong 3 times, you're out of there. No, just kidding. The skill testing question is not that skill testing.
It's really not.
Surely it is 10:30 here in Vegas. We're an hour behind Calgary time. And somebody informed me yesterday, I think it was Patrick Neal, that it's actually called Pacific Daylight Time when they use daylight savings.
Oh, interesting.
So like half the year it's daylight time, the other half it's standard time. That was new to me. So I just started calling it Pacific time.
Yep, that works. That's it from now on. It's Pacific time.
Just Pacific time. Looks like a good break there on... Oh, no, looks like he came up dry there on the right. There's a dry break over here as well. Oh, power stroked that one in nicely.
He sure did. Hit that with a little bit of authority. So what do you do? Do you take the 9 here, Ben, or are you going to back cut the 12 ball to the blind pocket?
I almost think, I don't know if the 9 leads you anywhere, right?
No, only thing I can see with the 9 is it kind of bumps into the 1-7 and maybe sits you on for the 15. But
Yeah, like the 7.
you're asking the cue ball to do a lot there.
And then even once you get on the 15, like what kind of, you're going to have a steep angle on the 15 and not be able to get to the next ball anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the only shot here is really the 12 and draw back, but tough to see from our angle up here. We can repeat that link again for Q tickets. It's cslipl.com under the shop tab.
No matching team shirt rule. Nope, not here at the VNEA. Not like BCA. BCA, you must have matching team shirts and so on and so forth. VNEA kind of has a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Which I like, but I highly recommend that teams wear team shirts, as it certainly helps everyone watching from a fan's perspective. With 5 players a team, it's kind of hard to keep track of who's who.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have team shirts, it's real easy.
Sure is. Makes our job a little easier to do.
Oh, look at that. He shot the 9 in the side and split the 7-1 window.
Wow.
Went right through it, never touched anything.
Well, he's left himself tough here. Shooting out of the pocket's never a fun thing, but where his particular grouping lies, there's really not a very good offensive shot. 3 a.m. Sunday the 5th of June here in Adelaide, Australia. Hence why Pete Robertson was trying to stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
3 a.m. 10:30 here, and I'm hungry.
Me too.
So I found the internet guy. Are you okay with running Wi-Fi? Okay, then he's going to need to move us away outside. So when are you guys done? As soon as this match is done. I mean, a time now. When do you think this match will be done?
I would suspect about an hour.
Yeah, the country team shirts are super cool too. You got to represent.
Well, they'll need to be finished before 5 o'clock.
Well, thanks, Brian Nilsson. Appreciate it, pal. Hope to see you here next year. And everybody else, if you've never been to this tournament, you got to put it on the bucket list. This is pool player paradise.
Yeah, and if you missed our tour, make sure you go back and check that out. You can go back on Facebook or YouTube and just scroll down. You'll see me standing in the middle of the hallway. That is the tour. Make sure you have a look at that. It's a pretty amazing setup here at VNEA.
Absolutely. You'll get to see a little bit of the banquet tonight as well. We'll give you some coverage of that. Super cool. They parade all the winners up on stage. You get to take some cool team photos. There's a really nice dinner. And then there's a bunch of entertainment. They usually have a handful of different entertainers. Unsuccessful jump shot over there. That was a tough one. Should be ball in hand there on table 2. Always double check with your opponent. That's right.
Absolutely. Brian Nelson. What division would I enter, Ben?
Brian, if you've never played before, you get to enter in the regular. VNEA is kind of unique that way, where they don't use known ability very much. Sometimes they will.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of, you get to prove your worth.
Sorry, guys, super late to the party this morning. Did the draw happen for the Qs yet? Not yet. We're going to run the cutoff for buying tickets at 2 o'clock. Again, Pacific time. And we'll do that draw just as we go live for the banquet tonight.
And Shirley wants to know, how are the floors? Her feet get sore easily. It's actually pretty nice here. The carpets are nice and cushy.
Yeah, they are.
It's not like some events where you're walking on that hard floor, and that wears on me too.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's a beautiful setup here at the Westgate. I've talked to a handful of the VNEA staff, Dick Spitzer in particular. He said this is the nicest venue they've ever had in 42 years of this tournament.
Absolutely, and they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, really great setup.
Yeah.
And I like that Mark Steinhaus says, how cool would it be to see this year's champion play last year's champions? Tyler Steinhaus, Rob Matz, Tim Tomjan, Jamie Pluta, and
Seymour.
Scott Tollefson. Yeah, that's a pretty sporty team.
I'd love to see it.
That would have been fun.
I think that's something that VNEA should maybe add to the roster as the Battle of Champions.
Battle of Champions, yeah. I could get down with that.
Right?
You know who we're not battling is the second place team. They're just going to have to live with it for a while.
That's right. Loose change starting to kind of run away with this a little bit. Is this tournament going to be live streamed every year with commentary from now on? That is our goal, Steve. The one good part of where our viewers could really, really help us is if you've enjoyed the coverage for this event, make sure you get a hold of VNEA and let them know. That always goes a long, long way for their decisions in bringing us back again next year.
And we'd love to be back. And I'll be back playing next year. I haven't won the singles yet, so they can't kick me out.
Well, I had a conversation with one of the organizers, and there's only one player on your team that is for sure.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the second, and you know exactly who I'm talking
Oh,
about.
of course, yeah. The third might actually be
Nope.
threatening if he plays enough pro events and his Fargo goes jacked, which could easily happen. And thanks, Zeb Crawford. Appreciate it, pal.
Yeah, indeed. And I'm not talking as much as what I normally do, and I apologize for that, guys. I'm not being as informative. My voice is just done.
Second place team, Shirley, was all guns blazing from Colorado. So ball in hand on the right here for her loose change. Looking to increase the lead.
Devin says, nothing against TV Mike, but you guys do it better. We appreciate that.
We do it better than everyone. Who are we kidding? I'm just going to pat ourselves on the back here.
Hey, we can do that every now and again.
Not an easy job either. Very
It's demanding.
Very long. Yeah, very demanding.
And I know it sounds like an easy job. Just sit and talk. But I'll tell you, it is not as easy to do as what some think it is.
Should be able to tell by our voices on day 10 that it's not that easy. I'm going to have to take a break from talking. Like, Grant will call me when we get home, and I'm not even going to answer. I'm just going to, no talking, text me.
Well, you won't get a call within the first couple of days,
That's
I can
right.
tell you.
We'll just be sleeping.
Right? Well, and it's funny because I was thinking about this already. This is where my mind goes. Is my voice is so sore that on the way down here, you and I talked pretty much the entire way down.
It's going to be a quiet ride home.
It's going to be a quiet ride home.
We'll just get some good music, or I saw some good comedy stations on that Sirius.
Oh, perfect.
So that might work, right?
That'll do.
And we'll be packing up and heading out tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Looking forward to it. I don't know if it'll be bright and early, but
It'll be It'll be early. Maybe not bright and early. But it'll be early. Put in a full day of drive until it gets dark and then get a hotel and
Correct.
carry on in the morning.
You got it.
Home by Monday night. This is the finals, Zeb.
The finals for your men's regular 8-ball teams.
Loose change needing to win twice.
It is our final day in the desert.
And how crazy is this? When these teams played each other before, Loose Change was up 19 points with 2 games left, and Bourbon Sippers pulled off the unreal comeback.
Yep.
And that's how they got here.
Yeah, Zed. It is the final day, final stream for the 2022 VNEA World Pool Championships here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Jeff on the YouTube says, poor planning. Ride down should have been quiet. One ball in the 8 over there for a 10-7 win. Loose change. Opening up the lead a little bit more. The crowd goes wild.
Clark says CSL needs a gopher for next year's tournament and extra help. If I can help, just let me know. Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys like the show this year, if we make it back here for next year, that's something that we still have to determine, and that's something we do yearly. So we never know from one year to the next if we're back the following year. This is where the help from y'all will really help us kind of secure that for next year. But if we're back here next year, we got some big things planned. You'll really like it next year. If you thought this year was good, next year will blow your socks off. New Orleans in the house. How are you on YouTube?
Oh, and I like our chances.
I kind of like our
A lot of
chances.
the staff have been saying what a pleasure it was to work with us. So, and it was a pleasure to work with them as well.
We have the Australian Mighty Ducks here in Adelaide.
All players on a team have to be open players. That's correct. There are no drop downs allowed in the open.
Donovan says, I've been told by the warden I have about 20 more minutes to watch.
Oh yeah, Pat's nailed it there. Like a booth to protect us from the AC. That's 100% has to happen.
Yep. I kind of thought about that already. I want black curtains
Yeah.
around.
Close us in here so we can't feel the breeze.
That's right.
Could literally hear the breeze whipping through my microphone.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Just like I was blowing into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just the breeze coming through the door. Actually, Rick Stanley came and sat here for a minute while you went and got coffee. And he's like, man, it's cold up here. Like, yeah, now you know how we felt the whole event.
All players on a team have to be open players, indeed.
I answered that one already.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. In the intermediate teams, you are allowed one drop-down player, so you're allowed one master on an intermediate team. But in the open, no dice. Got to all be open players. Kick and hit. And what's the result? Almost got away with it. And maybe still slightly did, because how do you get on those other 2 stripes from this stripe? 4 balls in the way to slide over. David Harding's comment.
I was
Too
gonna say
funny.
I was gonna say something there, but I chose not to.
Too funny. We used that one last night. Saw some girls and kind of yell at them. Did you know we're 4-time world pool champions? Have you met my friend Joe?
That's awesome. Did it work?
No, God,
Yeah.
no. Of course not.
They probably looked at me and went, "What game?
Yeah, what?
Pool?"
I ran into some people in the elevator, and they're like, what game do you guys play? And I was like, 8-ball. And he looked at me like, what? I was like, pool. And he's still, like, puzzled. Billiards. Oh, then he got it, right? And then I told him there's 300 pool tables over there, and his eyes just turned to saucers. What?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 300.
Yeah.
Because they probably just think like that we play in a little pub with like
Yeah,
three
yeah.
or four tables, and that's the world championship, right? Nope. 300 plus tables at the VNEA is quite something to see.
Oh, it's quite the setup, without a doubt.
Oh, tried to get a little safety there on the left, but it leaked out. Bourbon sippers need to start winning some of these games before loose change runs away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Tuning in from New Orleans on the YouTube. Welcome.
Yeah, that New Zealand team, when they finished 5th, 6th, that was in intermediate, I think. That was the year that we lost to them, but it was such a great match. Those players from New Zealand, man, they know how to play.
Yeah, and I've always said that about this tournament too. Like when you draw players from those kind of areas, they are like the best in their area.
For sure.
It's not like 300 of us coming from Alberta, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What rails are they using? And all tables championship cloths. Any ideas of which balls? Rails, I believe, are Ridgeback.
Mm-hmm. Cloth is
The
Championship.
championship. Yep.
and the balls are Aramith. And actually, one thing I've been really impressed with at this event is the balls are great,
They are.
which is not typical of Valley tournaments. Sometimes you get some funny balls. These are all like brand new Aramith balls, and they play awesome.
Oh, and to get there, they play on a 9-foot table. Well, that's all right. You play on the 9-foot, you come over here, play on a 7-foot. It's like child's play. That's why y'all play so good when you get here.
Yeah, great equipment here, Zeb. Big shout out to Shannon Benson and team at High Country Promotions for spoiling us rotten.
Yeah,
Beautiful Flat Cat Valleys.
They did a phenomenal job on this setup. And they're quick.
Yeah, they play quick. Yeah, very quick, which is good.
Well, Shannon and his crew, they tear out those tables and they just have this thing down to a science. The setup, the tear out, the whole works.
Mm-hmm. They do such a great job. And we even had like a small roll in this table on one day, and the table mechanic came over and fixed it in like 45 seconds. No problem. Well, and that might be some of the reason my team plays so good. We don't play a lot of bar box pool, actually. All of those guys, they're fantastic 9-foot pool players, and that's majority of what we play is on the 9-foot.
I am quite the opposite. I don't play nearly enough on the 9-foot. However, that will be changing.
Well, and we're super spoiled in Calgary. We have a couple of beautiful rooms. My home room, the Leather Pocket. We have 8 9-foot diamonds, 8 7-foot diamonds, 6 Valley bar boxes, and a recently installed Predator 9-foot with the arena light. And I'm going to go home and sleep for a day. And then Wednesday, it's go time. I want to get on that table and see what I can do.
Yeah,
Super excited to play on it.
me too. That'll be the first table that I go to play on when I walk into the Leather Pocket. But as I mentioned, I think you and I had this conversation. I'm pretty much going to hang up the cues here for a little bit. Just bring them out when I need to do my league matches, and everything I've got, every ounce of energy is going into the Canada Open. Make sure that that goes off without a hitch.
Indeed. I just thought of something, too. Because I got to play a Ghost League match, but we don't have a turtle rack. So it could be an absolute nightmare.
Oh, for sure it's going to be.
That's not going to be that enjoyable, I think.
Yep.
But I got to play it. I got to do it. Then I got all week to figure out my weeks 4 and 5 matches. But you'll probably see me up at your house later on in the week to try to get them done.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, look at the shot on the right side table. How delicate was
Crafty.
that?
Very crafty.
Very good shot. Very good.
Yeah, Zeb, no worries. So Ben and I apparently sound very, very similar on a microphone, but my name is Grant. And the other voice that you hear that's similar to mine, or I'm similar to him, is Ben Francis.
I think I'm similar to yours because you're the elder. You may remember
Are
Zeb.
you calling me old?
You may remember Zeb Crawford from Forebears. He plays that tournament every year.
Mm-hmm.
He'll certainly remember us. Certainly.
Go down to the Q Club or Griff's before the flight.
I wish it was a flight.
Me too. We get a 20-hour long-haul drive back to Calgary.
Yeah. And there will be no pool playing. Yeah, it'll have to be a Ghost League match, and then I'm putting my queue away for a few days too.
Oh, yeah.
Don't want nothing to do with it.
Nope.
Need a little break from pool. My arm is sore. Although that team event wasn't too much heavy lifting. We played 4 matches in 4 days.
Yeah.
It wasn't that strenuous physically, but emotionally, it was brutal.
Oh, I bet.
And
I
Zeb,
bet.
no, I'm not in the open.
Ben's team just won the 8-Ball Masters.
The pandemic four-peat. I also won the Scotch. Zeb, I got lucky, won the Scotch. I had a wizard partner. But I've been master ranked for a little while, that's correct. It's got to be going back to... I think I was still intermediate ranked when I played for this team the first year, believe it or not. In
Yep.
2018, I was still intermediate ranked. But then we won it, so that was putting me up.
Sandra says, I think you sound very different, and no offense, but I love when Steph is on. Great voice, sad she's not there.
Oh,
Agree 100%.
absolutely. I've always been a big fan of Steph's voice on the
She's
mic.
got a great radio voice.
I think she does, yeah.
She does.
And there's something to just having the soft woman's voice. It's
Yeah.
more soothing.
For sure. And if she thinks she's missing out next year, she got another thing coming.
That's right. Oh, this is a great comment on the YouTube from Scott Welch. Commentary is great. I always wondered what happened to Bob and Doug McKenzie. You found them. We're here.
Here we are.
And Jeff wants to know if we get paid for the commentator gig. We do not. We do it for the love and to build the following.
For sure. That's where the viewer advantage comes into play and so on and so forth. So it's been a really great week. We've had quite a few people sending in stars and all that kind of stuff, but typically it's through the viewer advantage.
And my partner in the Scotch, Zeb, was Tony Sakamoto.
Phenomenal player.
I would imagine Zeb would remember Tony, too, because she's been to
Oh,
that
for
Forebears
sure.
tournament a handful of times with us.
Well, once you've seen Tony play, you really can't forget it.
She's
A
memorable.
phenomenal player.
Yeah, such a talent, such a smart player, such a good mind for the game. You know, she doesn't get panicky, and she got the big stroke. You know, there's no pokey shots with her. She follows through real good. Couple of grinding games here. This one slowed down a bit. Balls are tied up a bit. And that looks like they're both shooting stripes on both tables.
Seb says that Canadian team is unreal. I would definitely bet on y'all all the time. Yeah, they've played the game once or twice.
Yeah, I would not bet against them.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be interesting to see next year the dynamic of how that team either changes or what happens with it, knowing that Stephen won't be able to play.
Yeah, well, and And we talked about it a bit last night. You know, I was kind of thanking Steven because it was a last-minute decision for him because
Yeah, of course.
he wasn't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Vino. And as much as we love Vino, I thought this tournament would have been way harder to win without Steven because he played really, really good and came with like some really clutch outs and big moments. And not to say Vino wouldn't have. Vino's like super clutch under pressure, and I love that guy's game when it matters, you know?
Yep.
So I think if we did happen to do it again, you know, not having Steven isn't going to be devastating. We've won plenty of tournaments without him against really good teams.
For sure.
But I'll put it out there, and I told this player about it, and I said, there's a chance that there's going to be some spots open up on that team. And my first pick is Mr. Walper.
Indeed.
I think Larry Walper is the most deserving.
I agree.
Of a spot, and he gels well with the team, so.
Well, and he's put in the work.
He puts in a lot of work, yeah. And he's always been like a fan of ours, so he like cheers us on, you know. He's like, he's a good guy too, so. You can't just be a good pool shooter to get on that team. You got to be a good person too.
For sure. I get paid in extra large triples.
Absolutely. Grant does accept coffees as payment.
Oh, I sure do.
Huge stroke from Chad on the left table there, but can't see what happened.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I run away for 5 minutes?
Absolutely. You head on out.
I'll be right back.
This is a grinder of a match. Stephen Holem is a champ and a pro. He is. He's got way too high of a Fargo now to be eligible for these events anymore. And he does have a couple of road trips planned, so he's going to try to make a push for the top stage. How far do you guys live close together, or do you guys have to drive a bit to play together? Grant and I only live about 20 minutes away from each other. Grant's about 20 minutes from our home pool room. I'm about 6 minutes from the home pool room, which is a super luxury. And absolutely, Gord, I like that comment because I would love to see Grant get a spot one of these days too. And he has played with us before. He helped us win the Canadian Championships a couple of years back. Couldn't have won it without him, I guarantee that. And what's the plan here on the right? I'm not sure. It's maybe just starting to think about ball count here. Just making sure he got a handful of balls. So the 6 ball is next, and it's tied up on that right side rail. He's going to be kicking at it. Good little containing safe from Chad over there on the left side table. Let's see what this kick shot has in store on the right. Looks like he's going to catch a bit of the horn. Oh, I don't think. Yeah, he did hit the stripe there first, so ball in hand. But still lots of work to do. There's, I'd say 3 problems there. 15, the 9, and the 11. The 13-10 on this bottom rail is not in ideal position either. And Zeb Crawford wants to know, what's the lockout score? Basically, when the other team can't win, that's correct. So if you're just tuning in, we're at the 2022 VNEA World Pool Championships at the Westgate Resort and Casino in the beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And the VNEA point system is 1 point for each ball, 3 points for the 8, totaling 10 points for the winner of each game. And 1 point for each ball for the loser. They're going to play a possible 25 games. And when one team can mathematically no longer come back, the match will be over, and Loose Change needs to win 2 sets here in order to take home the title. And yeah, you're right, Gord. He is a very good player, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, which is half the battle. There are plenty of good players that don't have as much heart as that boy. And that counts for a lot if you're out there trying harder than everybody else. That is half the battle. How many games left? Zeb wants to know. So we're on game 16, 17. The start of the 4th round, so 10 games remaining. And that is including these 2 games that are currently in play. And with the lead at 24 balls of 10 games, that's not a big enough lead yet. Especially because I've been told when these teams played each other before, Loose Change was up 19 points with 2 games remaining and lost. 2 10-0s to steal it down the stretch from Bourbon Sippers, and that must have been so exciting to watch. I can only imagine the celebration at the end of that one. And it looks like this 3-ball combo is not much of an issue, so I'm not sure what the thought is here on the right. I think he needs to play the 3-ball combo. He's maybe thinking about a safety, but I don't like that. I don't like that. Your opponent might find a weird hit and put you in a bad spot. Yeah, the mustache of the guy on the left. He's got a good stash for sure. Absolutely. Saw him warming up on these tables yesterday. Pretty good player, too. It looks like he's calling the 9 here, but I'm not sure how that helps him much. Cue ball's going the wrong way. Oh, Loose Change knocked 8 in by mistake on a made ball, then dry break and run. Unbelievable. Trying to figure out where the 6 goes after the combo. Yeah, he doesn't want it to stick in the hole. Oh, and that was probably the worst of all the options. That was probably the worst of all the options, because even if he doesn't get stuck behind the 6, he doesn't really have a shot. He wouldn't really have a shot. He would have some kind of combo, maybe a safety. Can he see this stripe on the left side rail to try to play a safe? Eight ball's pretty big. The problem being your opponent's going to kick in this ball a lot of times. So you might need to use the 8 for cover, and you might need to use that stripe that's on the left side rail to block the top rail for the easy 1 rail kick. Delicate little shot, though. Not easy. These teams are grinding this final. Neither team wants to give up an inch. They know how important every game is. Well, looks like he came up short on the safe shot here. Bourbon Sippers with the chance to cut into it a bit if he can pot this last solid and get on the 8.
Gonna be a challenge. Thin cut. That brings the, is it the 10 ball? 14 ball? May bring that ball into play as well.
Yeah, the stripe that he's nearest to right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he should be okay. Can't really go wrong hitting that. It'd be hard to hit it and put it in front of the 8. I like James' comment on the YouTube. How long is this tournament with eyes? The big wide eyes. 10 days.
10 days long.
Just 10.
We're on the final day. Final day in the desert. Final stream.
Final match. Possibly not the final stream. Possibly one more stream by the looks of it.
Final match.
Loose Change needing to win twice, and they're on their way to doing it.
Just got to hold the nerves. That's the key here.
So I found out what happened in the last match, too. With the 19-point lead and 2 games to go. Knocked in the 8 early on a made ball.
Oh, no.
And then dry broke.
Oh, no.
Unreal, right? How's that for a way to lose?
A storybook finish.
That's one that they'll be telling about for years to come. So he's missed the 6 over there on the right, but he's plugged the pocket. So maybe another safety from his opponent. Chad on the left, of course, spearing in balls like he's been doing for 10 days straight now. Zeb wants to know, where do we look to see if players are still open players?
I think that's dependent on your local charter.
For where to find it. VNEA doesn't have a list. VNEA has a list.
I would assume so on their website.
They have a list.
Yeah.
VNEA.com.
Moncton, New Brunswick in the house. How are you, Jason?
Good shot on the right-hand table, but he's still in a bit of a pickle there. And Chad's going to pot this 8 for a 10-7 for Loose Change. $131, $104 with only 9 games to play. Getting down to the business end of this set.
Maybe build a team. I heard I'm still open.
Yeah, you should build a team, Zeb. You guys got
100%.
plenty of good players over there that could build quite the open team.
I'll tell you what, this is definitely a tournament that if you've never been to, you got to make sure you put it on the calendar. It's got to be included on your bucket list. The first time I ever came to Vegas, it was such an eye-opener for the level of play, the talent. Had no idea that pool could be played at the level that it is.
Yeah, it was the same for me when I first came. And I didn't even know there was a singles event.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a team thing. Like,
Yeah.
my team told me we're going to go play this team tournament. I showed up, and I was like, this is so awesome. And then the next year I find out, if you come early, you can play the singles. Never looked back.
That's right. And been here numerous times.
As they say, Loose Change broke one of the last 2 games when these 2 last played. I bet he wishes he had broke safe now. I bet he does. And I think in that situation, when you only need 1 or 2 balls, you have to break safe. You can't risk breaking wide open and having the cue ball get kicked in or something.
See, and I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to play for the win. If I live, I'm going to live by the sword and die by the sword.
Yeah, you'll die by it more often. I guarantee that. Because the odds of running out are way less than them running out if you safety break, right? If you safety break and they run out, it's like hats off. There's no way they're getting out on my safety break. No chance. No chance. I'm getting a shot, right? Maybe I got to jump a ball. Maybe I got to kick a ball, but I'm going to get to shoot for sure. Nothing worse than you just smash it wide open and they run out.
Where is he going?
I think this was a safety. That's a good
I think
shot.
so too, yeah.
Yeah, he knew he couldn't cut that ball in because he didn't play position on the 8. So smart shot, sending the cue ball up table, and he left the 6 right over the hole. So there's no safety here for his opponent. And that's why you'll see him going at this ball, going to cut it into the bottom left.
The problem I see here with what he played is you can still cut that 13 into the bottom left-hand corner and more or less use the 6 as a stopper.
The thing is, at this level too, and in these pressure situations, he played the right shot. Send it up table. If your opponent cuts this in and gets on the next ball, they deserve it.
For sure.
And this is higher percentage than if you try to do something crazy with the 6 and come flying around for shape. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to pay off for him.
Did he take over the pocket with the 13 ball, though?
He did, but I don't see it being an issue. I think
Yeah,
he
you
can just
go
slide
back.
across.
Yeah, go back up top.
We're getting some congested tables over there. One thing you'll see at the master level especially is they take a really long time to rack. I always get players and fans, like even my mom or my sister, like, why did it take so long for him to rack those balls?
Giving it the B, sure.
Yeah, they know, and they've seen it so many times with these bad racks, and they just refuse to do it anymore, right? And I tell players all the time, take your time racking. There's no shot clock on the rack. Make sure they're nice and tight. Yeah. And never hit a bad rack. If you think it's a bad rack, keep trying. But never just get up there and hit it. It's kind of like a give up. You're like, it's good enough. I'll just smash it harder. That doesn't work.
It's still going to be mud.
That's right. 10-5. Bourbon Sippers cutting into the lead a bit there. Still plenty of time to work.
Only down 22.
Well, and as we've heard, no lead at all is safe, so.
And you play snooker tourneys.
I wish.
My eyes are no good for snooker. I would need binoculars in order to see the end of the table.
Snooker is my favorite game. I think it's my favorite sport in the entire world. So I watch it a ton, but I don't play it at all. Maybe once a year I'll play.
And is that due to the lack of snooker table availability?
Yeah, absolutely. And the lack of a reason to play. There's no big tournaments to practice for. There's no action. All the money is in this game. In the pool games.
Yeah, snooker's really not big in North America.
No,
Not like in Europe.
Yeah, in Europe, especially in the UK, it's a massive sport and super well-respected sport. Where pool is not so well-respected and not nearly as big. Snooker is something like 10 times bigger than pool and billiards. And yeah, Zeb, everybody always thinks there's good snooker in Canada because we have a world champion, Cliff Thorburn, but they don't play it much anymore. All the tournaments are small. Like, they'll host the Western Canadian Snooker Championships. They get like 16 players.
Well, and I think there's a few groups. I think the CBSA as well as Snooker Canada they're making attempts to bring snooker back, but it just seems to be one of those things because of and maybe it's due to the economics as well, where you look at, a snooker table or a couple of snooker tables and the real estate that it takes up in a pool hall.
That's absolutely right.
And with the cost of everything being where it is right now, it's just not feasible.
Well, and how about the other side of the coin? It costs you like $1.25 to play this game, and a snooker table is going to cost you like maybe $18 an hour to rent.
Yeah,
So it's quite expensive,
it is.
even just to play the game. And Zeb, that's correct. No template racks on the VNEA. 0 templates allowed here. For real this time, Donovan. Catch you later, pal.
We appreciate you tuning in all week here, bud. That's for sure. I think the best thing that's happened to pool in the last 5 years is the ghost leagues. Yeah. And Gord, you make a good point there on point number 1. It forces players to learn how to break properly and how to run out. And that's definitely a side effect of playing the ghost, for sure.
Yeah, and being able to watch yourself, too. I've had players tell me that they absolutely love it because they could go back and they're like, man, I jump up on every shot.
Well, and it was really kind of eye-opening the first time that somebody told me the best way for you to understand your game is record yourself playing. I never would have thought about it.
Yeah, for sure. Even when Q Sports Live was first starting out and I was playing, I think I got 3rd place at the CCS Westerns. I lost to like Kevin Cardinal or something. Now, I went back and watched, and I was like, man, I'm moving way too fast around the tables, like almost running.
Yeah.
Like I was
Speed
like
walking.
power walking around. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe I need to slow down a little. I'm burning too much energy, right? Sandra says, if you want to play snooker in Calgary, join the Legion. Free to play, cheap drinks and food. That's right. That's probably your best bet if you want to be a snooker player in Calgary. Just pay the Legion membership. Tables are all kept really well in the Legions too, so. So it looks like we got bourbon sippers on the left-hand table, and we have loose change on the right. A little tricky this time around as they're not wearing team shirts. But we'll try to follow the action as close as we can.
You also make a good point there as well, Gord. That's why everyone should join the CSL IPL.
Yeah, Zeb, we heard about that too, and that's super unfortunate.
Yeah, and I think it kind of put a skid mark on
Ghost play.
On Ghost play,
Yeah.
but we run ours, and we have not had an issue.
No, and we play too,
Yeah.
but definitely it's 100% legit. No funny business happening.
No, our reputation's worth more than what that would ever give us,
That's absolutely correct.
because we're not. This is the difference, right? Is we're not just a ghost league, right? We're a promoter. We're a live stream company. We have a reputation, and we'll do whatever we need to do to maintain that reputation.
Seb, maybe you should check out ours. You can actually win spots into the Predator Pro Series as well through our league.
Yeah, it's sponsored by Predator. So if Predator's putting their name to it, it's got to be good.
10-3 bourbon sipper's going to tighten this right up.
When is the drawing for the pool cues? Stacy, that viewer advantage will run until 2 o'clock Pacific time. And then when we go live for the banquet tonight, that'll be the first thing we do.
And yes, Zeb, that is what happened. He stitched the videos together. It was not good. He got blasted for it, though.
Oh, he sure did.
And I haven't heard from the guy since, so I wonder if he's okay.
No. I heard somebody else had taken that particular ghost thing over
Yeah.
and tried to make something of it, but I think the damage was done at that point.
Our online play, it's not on CSL, but it's on a private group page of
Yeah.
CSL IPL players.
And right now, if you want to go look at what the CSL IPL offers, usually it's a private players group, but we are accepting anybody and everybody that wants to check it out. You can search for that page on Facebook, all caps CSL IPL players. No spaces, all one word. Just
Yeah.
go request to join and we'll accept you in. You can have a look exactly how everything runs, how it all works.
Absolutely. We got a great group of players. What a break over there on table 2. I don't know how many balls went in, but I heard a lot.
Yeah.
It's like 4 balls, I think.
There you go, Zeb. CSL IPL players.
It's the one. Check it out, pal.
Yeah, we do lots of advertising. So we're, I think, 3 or 4 weeks.
4.
4 weeks in on a 6-week session.
Tomorrow is the end of week 4.
Correct. So this session is 6 weeks. The next one will be 6 weeks, and then we jump back into a 10-week session. Made the ones over the summertime a little bit shorter, making it a little more conducive for people that want to play without having the time commitment. And then once pool gets back into the full swing, we get back into our 10-week session.
Dude just played my time saver shot over there.
Yeah, he did.
Ain't got no time. This is day 10. I'll make 2 balls at once, get this over with. It was a really good shot 'cause he's landed straight in on 13. He can follow through to play the 9 next. That's the only trouble ball. All because he made like 4 on the break and then potted 2 on the opening shot. There wasn't a lot of balls to shoot here.
In a little bit tough here, though. That 6 is going to come into play. What kind of cues are we playing with right now? I play with a Predator cue, the P3 with a Revo shaft. And I break with a
BK Rush.
BK Rush.
I'm breaking with a Nix custom carbon brake jump shaft, and I'm still playing with the Jacoby Black for now, but I'm switching to the Revo soon. Just wanted to wait till after Vegas. Can be tough to make equipment changes. You got to pick the right time. I don't want to be changing equipment right before a major tournament.
David, next session, so we're in week 4. So this is a 6-week session, then 2 weeks in between. So about a month from now, 4 weeks.
Are the new dates up on the website?
No, I'll get that done here next week. So just check back on the website, cslipl.com. I'll have those dates updated next week.
I feel like the second we start a session, like in week 1, the new date should be up for the following session in case players want to sign up early. Or they look and they go, "Oh, what the heck? This is never happening again. It only happened that one time." Look out, cue ball. Don't clap yet, folks. Whew.
A 10-2 win.
Just about came with the early celebration there. 10-2 for Bourbon Sippers. Unbelievable. Look at this score tightening right up. They had quite the lead, loose change. Now they're over there probably sweating it up a little bit.
Yeah, and you gotta be able to hold your nerves, take the swings. You're gonna get your chances. You just gotta be able to capitalize.
That's right. Just don't panic. You know,
That's
it's so
it.
easy to panic and think, "Oh my God, they're up so many balls, it's over." Right? You just got to win the games you're supposed to win and move on from there.
That's it. CSL IPL, sorry, the Viewer Advantage Sweepstakes. Oh man, can you tell it's day 10? Viewer Advantage Sweepstake back up, guys. This will only run till 2 o'clock, so make sure you get your tickets, cslipl.com. When you get onto the site, click on the shop button. It'll be the first option for you. Each ticket that you get does have 2 chances to win. First ticket that we pull will get choice of those 2 beautiful Jacoby custom cues. One is wrapped, one is wrapless. And then we'll pull another ticket, and that ticket will get the remaining cue. So a double giveaway. If you want to send in from Canada, you can also email transfer. That is to qsportslive@gmail.com. Just keep in mind it is US dollars, so 26 Canadian.
I just saw Loretta came and sat in the stands up there. Loretta's comment on the Facebook. She had a great time at this event.
Oh, she did.
And she still is, because she came to watch this match this morning from the stands.
Mike Poole, how many are sold? It's not about the number of tickets that we sell. We cannot do raffles. Raffles are not legal. And we learned that lesson. We got hauled in by the City of Calgary Police Department, and we were told to not do raffles any longer, or it would be a $50,000 fine plus jail time. So we had to contact a lawyer out of Toronto in Canada to figure out how we can continue to do it legally, and the only legal way to do it is via a sweepstakes. And so if we don't sell enough tickets to cover the cost, that then becomes our problem. So
That's right.
we have to pick a draw date and stick to that draw date regardless of the number of tickets we sell. So it's a risk on our side.
And they want to know why I'm switching shafts, because the Jacoby plays sweet. It's not because of the partnership. It's from some advice that I had if I'm looking for a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate sponsorship. I'm hoping one day maybe I can play good enough to get that sponsorship.
Yeah.
But the Revo hit's dead straight. I've always liked it. It just, the first edition one sounded funny.
It did. It had that little tink sound to it.
But they've fixed it now. It sounds awesome, and it hits super straight. James on the YouTube, great question. He said, you have 2 chances of winning, but can you win twice?
Yes,
Absolutely.
of course you can.
Absolutely.
And partly the reasoning behind us saying, yes, you can win twice, is we do have people that have bought 5 tickets. And so if they win the first one, you know, they put in the tickets, they put in the cash.
That's right.
They can win twice.
So
Now I'll say the 5 ticket purchases are pretty rare, but they are there.
So it looks like we've got only 6 games left.
And it's tight.
I had to think for a minute. Day
Yeah.
10, I can't even think how many games are left.
Only 7 points separate these 2 teams.
Yeah, what a match this has been. Loose Change gained a bit of a lead. And now Bourbon Sippers is cut right into it. It looks like they actually have a different score up there, so I might go do a check in a moment. They have Loose Change at 142. It's possible I just missed a point somewhere, so I will check after these games to make sure down the stretch that we got the score correct, so we can build up the excitement when it's close to over.
Mm-hmm. The Ohio team is the Bourbon Sippers. Loose Change being from Iowa. And it is the final day in the desert. Your 2022 Whirlpool Championships here in Las Vegas, Nevada. New venue for VNEA, broadcasting out of the Westgate Resort and Casino.
Oh, great little shot there. Looks like he's held this cue ball for the 9 next on the right side table. Where does the 8 go?
Which one is the 8?
It's right by the red 3, yeah.
I think it goes to the bottom right if he can get there.
But from here, how do you get there?
It depends on the angle. If you draw up to that left side pocket,
The lack of angle. I think he's even going the other way, maybe.
you very well could be.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell from back here.
Judging by his reaction, too, I'm not sure he can slide up that left side.
The taper is where it's at, though, Rob, without a doubt. That was, with no question, the biggest reason. Not to mention the fact, I mean, the Jacoby hit really well. But, I mean, all carbon fibers are going to hit well. But it was the taper on the black that sold me.
Oh, he did have enough to power draw up there. What a
Look at
great shot
that.
that was. What a great shot. And this is a big one because Loose Change was starting to let that lead slip away.
Wow.
Goodness. Good focus, too,
10-2.
because somebody's phone started ringing at the worst possible time.
Right? Right in the backstroke, too.
Didn't seem to phase him at all. Games 21-22, the final round. Loose Change looking at winning this first set to force a second set decider. I think I will just take a peek at the score quick here.
And you're more than welcome, Don. We appreciate everybody tuning in, let me tell you. We've got 155 on Facebook, 200 on YouTube. It's been a pleasure all week, and again, congratulations to the VNEA. You put on one heck of a tournament. Your 2022 Whirlpool Championships here in Vegas coming to a close, and this is it. What a shot. What a cut. That left-hand side, I'll tell you, made that look real easy. Another 10-2 victory.
What a big out there, too, at a big moment in this match.
Starting to pull away again.
Yeah, only 4 games remain now.
Down 24.
24 with 4. 24 with 4. That's a pretty sizable lead at this stage in the match. And let's give you guys a look of the crowd forming, shuffling in and out. All tuned in.
Always good to see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's the final day. Most of the tables are all pulled out of the other room, setting up for the banquet.
Super looking forward to the banquet.
When is the Canada Cup? It's the Canada Open Gourd. And way too big of an event to run at the Leather Pocket, so that'll be in Red Deer at the Cambridge Inn and Hotel. Or Cambridge Inn and Conference Center, I should say. Mike says he hangs out with some of the bourbon sippers, Ohio Hillbillies.
Hillbillies. Don't know if I'd call them that.
And so
They seem
I gotta
like pretty normal guys to me.
yeah, right. I gotta make kind of a little bit of a pointer here that if you do come to watch any of the matches, make sure your phones are off.
Absolutely. Like
We've
any
had-
pool match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had one cell phone ring, another one just went off with an indication, right? And you don't want to be distracting to the players, right?
Pool is like one of the most hyper-focused games in the entire world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's another game in the entire world that requires the same amount of focus as pool.
At this point, do you start the safety breaking, Ben?
No, not this early. They need 17 balls still.
Yeah. I think this is, just keep your foot on the gas.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if Chad can just run out over there, the match is over. Chad on the right side table shooting for loose change. If he runs out, this match is over. We're going to have a second set. But it's definitely never over. These gentlemen already proved that in the previous match they played each other. 19 points with 2 games was not enough.
What a comeback that was.
Oh, nice little shot there on the right side table. He's got
Yeah,
a
gets
chance.
everything developed.
If he could shoot the 7, then the 4, but I don't think he can. He's too off angle. Maybe the 4 go into the 9, then shoot the 7, because the 5 to the 3 leads you to the 8 the easiest. And it might be the 8 into the top right corner after the 3. I'm not sure. It passes into the side.
So Rob, Grant, are you okay with the Revo taper now? I've tried, but I use a closed bridge 70% of the time. The taper bothers me. Yeah, I'm okay with it now. I mean, it certainly took a little bit of acclimation. But I mean, even changing from the difference in the hit between the Revo and the Jacoby, it's just a different hit. It's solid, without a doubt. So it took a little bit of time, and I'm okay with it.
I think it depends on the size of the Revo.
Yeah,
The-
I've
like,
got the 12.4.
The 12.9 I could never use.
No, me neither.
That taper is way too thick for my closed bridge.
Yeah, it feels like I'm hitting with a 2x4.
Yeah. So definitely the...
But ironically, the 12.9 is the one that Tyler Steyer uses.
Well, and it's all feel, of course.
Yeah.
It doesn't... It's like people, when they say, oh, Shane uses this or Shane does that. I'm like, Shane's a freak of nature. Like that, you can't compare yourself. And Tyler's kind of the same, just like freakishly talented, you know?
Yep.
You could give him anything. You just chalk up the end of a broom and that boy's going to run you out,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
He might not even need the chalk. He hits center cue ball so good.
But yeah, it did take a little bit of time to kind of get acclimated to the Revo. But now that I'm there, I prefer it, to be honest.
Super thin shot here on the right side table from Chad, but he's done the right thing. He's picked off most of the easy balls. Get the points on the board.
ball count.
They need 17 balls in 4 games. And he's
Little
got
shy there.
He's
but
got 5 of them, so that's
look at
mostly his
this.
job done, you know?
Did he get away with that? Is that cue ball hampered by the 8 from going cue ball 9 ball?
Yeah, I don't know if he has a 9 here. The 7 might actually be blocking half of that pocket, too. Our apologies for the spammers on the YouTube. Out in full force. They know it's the final. They're watching, too. And they're gone. Zeb thinks it took a roll to the right on the right table. Man, I can't believe somebody's phone is ringing.
I know, right?
Like that,
Like,
to me, is just mind-blowing. Like,
Yeah, that should never be a thing.
but I just think, like the only excuse for that is if they've never played pool before.
Yeah.
But if they're a pool player, they should really know to turn the phone off. That would drive me nuts if I was out here playing the final and the
100%.
third time somebody's phone rang. I'd be
Right.
like, I'd put my cue down and just stop playing.
I
Look at
quite
the crowd and
honestly-
say, are you guys done now? Can we go back to playing?
Right.
Can everybody please turn off their phone? So it might actually, so how about this? Maybe something for the referee sitting here.
Of course.
Maybe something for the ref in between games to just say, hey, can everybody just make sure their phone is turned off? Or maybe in between matches for sure, right? Like if this goes to a second set.
Yep.
Just
I also think they should put signs on the doors coming in. Please mute phones.
yeah, well, there we go. Notes for next year, right? Notes for next year.
Right. I just think that kind of thing should just never happen.
Oh, it's just vicious. I can just picture myself shooting like the winning ball in a match and somebody's phone goes off and I miscue and like just makes me sick thinking about it.
No doubt.
It would be just the
Well,
absolute worst way to lose.
How would you feel if you were the one to have your phone ring and cause that? You know what I mean?
I'd feel like a big old dummy.
Yeah.
CompuSport shows score as... Yeah, I knew I had it right. Man, they're always tricking me. Like I went and checked the score sheet because I had it at 151 at one point. And then I went and looked at the score sheet, it said 152, and now they've changed it back again. Keeping me on my toes.
Right.
So indeed it must be 161 to 138.
161 loose change.
Yeah, that's what they were referring to. That's the CompuSport.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what they're referring to in the comments there. Oh my goodness, more of these YouTube spammers, man. They're out in full force again.
Well, you got on them pretty quick, so they figured they would try again.
Yeah, not quick enough, unfortunately. Our apologies for the nonsense on there.
Just joined in and heard the commentator mention a second set. What triggers the second set? So bourbon sippers are your A side winners, and loose change came around from the B side. So in order for loose change to win, they would have to beat bourbon sippers twice. This is the first set. They are winning this set so far. So if they do win the first set, it will go into a second set.
That is double elimination in a nutshell. In order to lose the tournament, you have to lose 2 matches. Doesn't
Correct.
matter how it happens. Bourbon sippers on the left table and the right table, so these are 2 really big games for them.
They need both of these games.
Yeah,
They can't give up one of these games.
They could lose one with a certain ball count, but you'd hate to do it, especially since Chad already has 5 balls over there on the right side,
Mm-hmm.
and they only need 14.
17.
Well, it was 17, so 16. Because we were counting 17 when it was 162, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the math is wrong there as well. So the most bourbon sippers can get is 178. So 19 balls, actually. 19 to win, 18 to tie. Correction. 18 to win, 17 to tie. I got it. I've arrived.
So in the case of a tie, if they get to the 25th game, and after that 25th game is played and the score is tied, then they will play the 5th round all over again.
That's right. And there was a match in this tournament. I can't recall exactly who it was, what team it was, but they played 2 extra.
Oh, they tied twice.
Yeah, they tied twice. The
That's
match
always
went till
fun.
like 1:30 in the morning or something.
I've been on a team that's done that once.
Yeah, I've been on the tie once, but never the double tie. That's something else. Pretty slim odds. Buy a lottery ticket when that happens.
It's so true. Left-hand table looking good for a 10-4.
Yeah, that's loose
A
change.
10-3.
Loose change over there as well, so that could seal it, I think. I have to find out. Clustered on the right, and Chad doesn't mind waiting for that. He says, until I can make at least one more ball, I'm not doing nothing for you. Now, what's he looking at there? Is he thinking of going 4 rails in behind that ball to try to get the hit? You could go top rail, right side rail, bottom rail to try to hit it, and you kind of have the 4th rail too in case it goes wrong. Loose change with the celebration. Some players standing up. What did we have there? 3?
10-3, yep. That was the men's masters playing 2 tiebreakers.
It is over because Chad already has 5 balls. Yeah, it is indeed over.
That's
First
it.
set over.
First set done. Loose change.
First set to
Winning
loose
set
change.
number 1, forcing the overtime into set number 2.
Nice. Barn burner. One more match to come in this tournament. Don't go far, people.
No doubt.
We're going to shut this one down and restart. For the next match, I imagine these players will take a little bit of a break, maybe 15 minutes to go scan the sheet.
Just in time to go get a coffee, perhaps a little popcorn, a little bacon and eggs maybe.
That's right.
That's how you do breakfast
I wish.
or lunch.
We're
depending
waiting
on
a
where
little
you're
longer
from.
for our breakfast, Grant.
We sure are. With that being said, guys, don't go far. We're going to do a shutdown, restart, bring you the final set, final stream from Las Vegas, Nevada for your 2022 World Pool Championships here in Las Vegas, Nevada. On behalf of myself and Ben Francis and the rest of the Q Sports Live team, we appreciate you tuning in, guys. Don't go far. We'll be back here in a few.